The most successful investors are the ones that do the opposite of what the market is doing. Yesterday was a red day. I felt like selling. I should have bought. Today is a green day. I'm thinking to myself, damn, did I miss the dip? Should I be buying? Always do the opposite of what you feel like doing.
Okay, with me here is the man himself, Ran. He is the co-founder, or I said founder, excuse me, of Crypto Banter, which is the largest live stream crypto YouTube channel in the world.
Yeah.
Really, really excited to have you on, Ran. Please enlighten our audience with a little bit of your background.
So I built and sold one of the biggest marketing company in Africa. After I did that, I got all into crypto, and there was no crypto information. So I kept looking for crypto news. I couldn't find crypto news. And so I proposed to CNBC that we start a crypto show. And we ran the world's first televised crypto show for 3 years or 2.5 years. And then I realized I didn't actually want to be part of a big media station. They were traditional in their ways, and I just didn't feel at home. I just didn't feel like it embodied who I was. And so I founded Crypto Banter. And the rest is history. Today we have one of the biggest and most engaged communities in crypto. We have the biggest live shows in the world, and we're building a powerhouse. We're building a crypto powerhouse.
Amazing, amazing. And it really is fantastic to have you here. I've been a fan for a long time. I've been watching your live streams.
So good to hear.
So it's fantastic to have you. I know Bitget is very excited to have you as a killer whale. It's absolutely fantastic. So my next question I wanted to ask is, where do you see crypto in 5 years?
So I think we're in a very tricky time now where a lot of people are getting demotivated. A lot of it's because of the lack of price action. And I think the builders keep building. And I think in 5 years, we'll have 1 or 2 apps that have really got mass adoption. Because if you think about what use cases we've invented in this technology in, say, the last 10 years. So we have store of value. Great use case. We have the ability to send fiat currencies from one place to another, tokenized fiat currencies from one place to another. Great, great, great use for a technology. Then we have speculation. It's a use case. Gambling, gaming, speculation is a massive, massive use case. You can laugh, but it is what it is. And so I think in 5 years, we get another 2 or 3 killer use cases. Now, I don't know if it's going to be in gaming. I don't know if it's going to be around NFTs, but there'll be 2 or 3 killer use cases. And when we get those 2 or 3 killer use cases, I think the game changes. We need 1 killer use case, 1, to take us to the next $1 trillion in market cap. So we just need 1 killer use case. And it'll come because there's so many experiments that are actually taking place that eventually one of them is going to catch. And when it does catch, you know where it goes.
Do you have any thoughts on what that might be?
I don't know. I keep thinking it might be in the realm of gaming. But you know what I think it's going to be? I think it's going to be something that we can't yet imagine. And it's something like, when we see it, we're going to go, wow, this is what blockchain was actually meant to be used for. You think about Bitcoin. It's the only way to create digital money without the double spend problem. So when you look at a blockchain, you go, wow, that's really smart. And I think the same thing is going to happen for the next use case.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think if we knew what the use case was going to be, then it would have been a Web 2 use case, and then it wouldn't need Web 3. So yeah, it could be something. It could be something like transferring patent rights or IP rights, like an NFT. But I think that version 1 of NFTs didn't do it very successfully. So I think we're going to get another killer use case. I hope the next killer use case is a mass adoption use case, and I hope that when we get the next 100 million people using one application, and that changes everything.
So maybe something along the realms of like tokenization of real world assets.
You see, again, that's great, but that's just a migration of Web 2 to Web 3.
Right.
I'm migrating Web 2. There's 2 concepts that you need to understand. The one is innovation, and the other one is disruption.
Sure.
Innovation is if you think about it in the world of taxis or in the world of hotels. Innovation is a bigger hotel room, a better hotel room, maybe allowing people to check in for hours as opposed to days. That's innovation. I'm looking for disruption. Disruption is, let me rent out my house as a hotel. I'm looking for something that's going to come from left field. And so I think just tokenizing real world assets, not really exciting, but let me give you an example of something that may be exciting. Instead of buying a hotel and relying on the hotel operator to operate the hotel and pay you profits, we could tokenize the hotel such that every time that a key card is swiped on the door, the owners get paid a dividend. That's when real world assets becomes interesting. I'll give you another example of where I think real world assets becomes interesting. Imagine that you love McDonald's, but you don't like them for their burgers or for their fries. You like them as an investor for their juice. You only care. As an investor, you love McDonald's, but you hate the burger side of it and you hate the fries. What you love is you love the beverages. You could create a smart contract that said every single time that one cup of juice is poured, the contract holder gets $1 or a thing. That's where I like tokenization of real world. That for me is how we disintermediate the real world. Allowing investors to invest in micro parts of a whole chain.
I see.
I think that's where real world that's the just to take a house and to put the house on the blockchain using a token.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
I agree.
right.
I agree.
No improvement.
For sure.
But to be able to take little micro sections of businesses and start tokenizing micro sections of business. I'll give you one more example that I thought about a lot. Shipping is effectively it's a function of weight and miles. So what you can do is you can create a formula that says for every nautical mile times 1 kilogram that the ship travels, the investors in the ship get a dividend immediately through a smart contract.
Automated.
Automated,
Yeah.
no risk, no management risk. You don't really care how well the companies run.
Right.
You're getting it on top line revenue, and there's no cheating on the revenue because it's simple as how much weight is on this yacht, how many miles has the yacht traveled. You promised me $10 per kilogram per mile. Smart contract, I'm paid my dividend. That I like.
I like that a lot. It takes a
Yeah.
human out of the element and actually
Yeah.
speeds things up, efficiency, and you can really capitalize on it.
Think about this. It's being able to invest in micro investments. Now you take it down to any a retailer. You say, look, I like Nike this, but I don't like Nike. I like Nike running shoes, but I don't like Nike Jordans. Okay? And now all of a sudden the smart contract investor can get $1 for every time a Nike. So breaking businesses down and allowing investors not to invest in the equity of a company, but to invest in a specific product line that they think the company is going to win at. That for me is a game changer.
Fantastic.
That's where real world assets becomes game
I'm
changer.
blown away. You can really hear the investor in him, really thought provoking. We don't really get a lot of these answers, so it's fantastic to have you and share with our audience some of the things that you think about. I think it's really cool the way you think about Web3 and that conversion. I want to shift gears a little bit. I wanted to ask, what has been your biggest success? Something that you're most proud of in your crypto journey so far?
Building the community that we built in such a short period of time. I mean, if you think about the big stations, we're the youngest of all the big stations out there, and we built an amazing community in a very short period of time. We did it through being authentic. Banter, as you know, is a reality show. You know me, you know Sheldon, you know our lives, you know our kids, you know everything. It's a reality show. It's not a crypto show. Also, what we do is we study crypto every single day, and then 1 hour a day we teach you what we've studied in the previous 12 hours. I'm proud of building that. I'm proud of changing the lives of everyone that I interact with. Sheldon's story, Kyle's story, Fred's story, every single person that's worked with me. I feel that I've touched them in such a way that I've brought out the best in them. That's really why I'm doing this. But I think probably my biggest achievement in the last couple of years was being able to get up and keep fighting after the Luna collapse. Everyone knows that in Luna, I mean, I lost over $100 million. It was the majority of my portfolio. And instead the wind was knocked out of my sails. It was a crazy time, but I managed to keep it together, and I managed to lead my team, and I managed to get up again, and I managed to fight back and fight back stronger. And I think my team and my community are very grateful for that. So I think you want to talk about achievements. Sometimes the achievement is just being able to get up again after being knocked out, and that's the biggest achievement. So
Definitely.
here we are, and we're fighting back, and we're stronger than ever before.
Absolutely. The resilience I see with you guys is really, truly remarkable. I think it's really inspiring.
We are responsible for millions of people. We have a community of call it 1 million people.
Yes, indeed.
These people rely on us. These people, it's like we started the journey together. We have to keep going to the community. Sometimes I wake up in the morning, I don't feel like streaming. There's no news. It's a bad day on the markets. Hey, I'm human. My portfolio takes a knock. I also get demotivated.
Sure.
But I just keep on keeping on. I just keep on keeping on. And I mean, it's a two-way relationship because on the one hand, I'm there for them every single day. On the other hand, they force me to be there every single day, which motivates me to do better, to be there, to show up. So I think that's one of the biggest achievements.
I love that. That's
Yeah.
fantastic. And I'm sure one of the best feelings is coming across someone who come up and say, "Hey, listen, Rand, you changed my life because of something you said on YouTube. You know, we
Even
were
here,
access
even here, even
I'm
here,
sure.
I've been walking around and people saying you changed my life.
No doubt.
It's amazing. It's amazing. It's a lot of responsibility.
Sure.
You have to understand the amount of responsibility that you get on our shoulders. Sometimes you say something, you really mean it. At the time, it's the best you knew given the information, but the call goes completely wrong.
Sure. Sure.
And you know that when that happens, people lose a lot of money.
Yep,
And
absolutely.
you think that people are responsible because you told them to be responsible. Most people don't hear anything you say about diversification and don't hear anything you say about being responsible, and they'll hear one call and they'll go all in on that call because they want to just make the quick money. And when they don't, it's your fault.
I understand. So you really got to be careful.
So I mean, we balance the responsibility.
Sure.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. Okay, so then my next question is, what has been the biggest lesson you've learned in your crypto journey so far?
The biggest lesson I've learned in broadcasting. So in crypto, my biggest lesson in crypto: don't FOMO. Okay. Because we're in such a unique industry that has a price gauge all the time. Normal industries are industries that build businesses and eventually you get returns. Crypto is different. Because crypto you get returns and then you build businesses because of the instant liquidity. It's very hard to get caught up in FOMO. I think we have more FOMO in this industry than any other industry in the world because of the immediate liquidity and tokenization of something that we haven't even built yet, which is, I mean, there's no other industry in the world that does that. And so I think the biggest lesson I've learned is don't FOMO into anything. As a broadcaster, the biggest lesson that I've learned is that naturally people are much greedier and therefore much more irresponsible than you think. And therefore, whenever you say something, whenever you verbalize something, you always have to assume that the person on the other side is a degenerate gambler. And you have to tone your message accordingly because you're speaking to a lot of people, but the common denominator, the lowest common denominator is some degen gambler who's put down his wife's paycheck and his kid. It happens.
Yes, I know.
It happens all the time. Because people want to make quick money, because crypto has created more millionaires than any other industry in the world ever. Okay? But more people have lost money in crypto than have made money. So do the maths. You have much more opportunity, but more people have lost money than have made money. More money has been lost in crypto, but more people have lost money than have made money. You got to keep balancing the promise of more millionaires being created than any other industry with the fact that more people have lost money than made money. And when you get that balance right, then you can deliver, and you can still be entertaining at the same time and informative at the same time. Then you got a good recipe.
I love that. And that's why you guys have found such immense success. So honestly, big congratulations to you and your team. You guys are constantly putting quality stuff out. So if you haven't seen it already, be sure to check out Crypto Banter. That is for sure. All right. So my next question is going to be on if you had just one thought you could share with, let's say, a beginner investor or a trader, what is the one tip you could share with them that if they had a, let's just say 2-year time horizon where they're preparing for the next bull run, next cycle, what would that tip be for them to find most success?
If you're an investor, identify protocols that you think are going to change the world, and then give them enough time and enough support to do their thing. So we are lucky in blockchain that we can actually get involved in helping protocols build. You can't help Facebook build Facebook, and you can't help Google build Google, but you can help a protocol, and you can get incentivized for actually doing that. So I always say, invest in protocols that you think are going to change the world, and then give them enough time and enough support to do their thing. If you're an investor, if you're a trader, do the opposite of what you feel like doing. If you wake up in the morning and you feel like buying more Bitcoin, sell. If you feel like selling, buy. Every time I've done that, I'll end up making a lot more money. Trust me, when you feel like buying, sell, and when you feel like selling, buy. Try it. Open a Bitget account. Open 2 accounts. KYC both accounts. I don't know. The guys at Bitget will help you KYC both accounts. On the one account, do what you feel like doing. on the other account, always do the opposite of what you feel like doing. I guarantee you that the second account will outperform the first account. I know this because I've tried it.
That's a great tip.
Yeah.
I've never heard that before, and you can give it a try.
The market is programmed to flush out humans.
Yes. Got to take the emotions out.
The most successful investors are the ones that do the opposite of what the market is doing.
Absolutely.
So hard to do because you stick. Now, I was sitting here. Yesterday was a red day. I felt like selling. I should have bought. Today is a green day. I'm thinking to myself, damn, did I miss the dip? Should I be buying? You know what? You know what's? Always do the opposite of what you think you feel like doing.
That's a great tip. Fantastic. Thank you. All right. What would you like to say to Bitget for its 5th year anniversary?
I think Bitget has been one of our most incredible partners. I think the amount of success that they've achieved in 5 years, and specifically the amount of success that they've achieved in the last 2 years, is probably testament to the hard work of all the amazing people that work there. I think they run an amazing ship. I think they've always acted with integrity. And us as their partners, they treat us like absolute gold. So Bitget, thank you very much, and happy birthday.
I love that. Fantastic. I just have a few more questions for you. The reason why we're asking this one is going to be a little personal, if you don't mind.
No, go for it, please.
Answering. You know, because you have found such tremendous success. So we wanted to showcase to our audience that, you know, successful people, of course, also have successes and failures. And so my next question for you is, what has been the one token that you've earned or lost the most money on that you can share?
So definitely Luna. Well, I lost the most money on Luna. I invested about $500,000 in Luna, and that became about $130 million. And well, you know what happened to Luna.
Right.
And when that happened to Luna, all my dry powder, all my cash was sitting in Terra, in UST. All my dry powder was sitting in UST.
Brutal.
So that was by far the worst week of my life. I thought I'd never ever come back, and here I am, and number one on the ratings.
Coming back stronger than ever. I love the resiliency.
Yeah.
Fantastic. A little quick choice. If you were to hodl for 2 years, would you do Bitcoin or ETH?
ETH,
ETH. Okay. Meme coins or NFTs?
NFTs,
NFTs. Okay. Dogecoin or Sheep?
Doge.
Doge. You heard it here first. Ran from Crypto Banter.
Thank you, my friend.
Pleasure
Thank you,
to
my
have
friend.
you.
Thank you. What an honor it is to be here. Thank you.
Absolutely.
And great show. Great show. You guys have put on a great show.
Yes, you as well.
Thank you.
So much for taking the time.
Thank you so much, guys.
That's it from us.